He's the MP for Morayfield, Assistant Minister of State, assisting the Premier of Queensland. We've also got from Arts Queensland, Kirsten Herring, who is the Director General of Arts Queensland, and Rebecca Atkinson. I'd also like to welcome the fellow board members from the Queensland Board that are out there and about. And I'd also like to welcome you, which are the producers, the performers, and the audiences that come to the Anywhere Theatre Festival. So, hello. Look, Anywhere is a Queensland success story. The last 5 years, the statistics stand up on their own. We've got some great audience numbers. We've got a terrific amount of performances, artists coming out our ears, and interesting enough, we've got great financial returns for the venues and local communities that our festival actually runs in, whether it be here in Queensland or interstate. I think the success story is based on the sentiment and engagement of the arts workers and audience to be interested in performance outside the confines of brick-walled theatres and large company structures. The freeing up of creative content by enabling producers to focus on doing what they need and want to do without the baggage of mainstream arts business models is undoubtedly one of the core reasons for the success of the Anywhere Festival. Thank you. There might be another reason that's often not talked about as well, and to me this is passionate, being ex-roadie and in the arts worker for most of my adult life. There might be another reason, and I'm from Queensland, so I will put that out now. There are festivals and places in communities for performers and artists to present their works all across Australia. But most often, if you're not in the mainstream, you're doing it for free. Get that exposure, have a chance to produce your works. Working with these festivals and with these amateur companies is fine. They provide great platforms for artists to practice their trade and their craft. No doubt about that. Great to think. What makes Anywhere Festival different is that it's a gig, a paying gig. You can do your craft, your job, and be rewarded for your work, for your toil. Brisbane is a melting pot for the arts. I was just talking about a story before about a young artist I heard on ABC, 612 ABC, regarding a person who graduated from Brisbane as a musician and has written 5 of the music scores for some of the 5 of the biggest movies in the world at the moment. And Brisbane really is a place which has great education in arts programs, whether it be schools, colleges, and in music, for instance, you can step onto the youth orchestras. But what you do when you graduate? What do you do to get a gig? How about a contract? Where do you get that? What happens if you don't get a contract? And particularly with the mainstream employers, because they're the ones with the contracts. Where do you go? What do you do to make a living and practice your art? Historically, for Queenslanders, we head south. Or we bite the bullet and get a normal job. It's not a really good outlook. What Anywhere does is give a real opportunity for artists and arts workers to do their job in their state and not leave. As a Queenslander, I reckon that's good. Anyway, that's my statement. So once again, thank you to Alexandra McTavish and Paul Osuch for delivering not just a great festival, but a fantastic business structure where everybody can work together. I'd also like to thank the board and the many machinations for the due diligence and governance that we've provided for the board for the festival. And I must say that as we're coming to the end of our Arts Queensland funding, that irrespectively that the Queensland Government choose to continue with us as we move into 2017, 18, 19 and onwards. You know it's a good thing. Okay, thank you all for coming tonight and have a great Anywhere Festival. And now I'd like to introduce Mr. Mark Ryan, MP, and all those things I said before after his name. Mark, thank you.
Thanks, Doug, and good evening, everyone. I'd firstly like to start by acknowledging the traditional owners, and in doing so, acknowledge the over 3,000 generations of traditional owners who've gone before us, practicing their customs, sharing their stories with their young people, and keeping the dream time alive. And I'm sure in the spirit of reconciliation, we'll all be able to continue telling those stories and keeping that dream time alive here in Queensland. Can I acknowledge Doug, the chairman of the board, and all your board members? Can I acknowledge Paul, the CEO? Can I also acknowledge the Director General of Arts Queensland? And I'm sure she took notes when you said you need more funding. We'll follow that up on Monday, I'm sure. But it's a great opportunity to be here. And look, Doug's wife gave him 2 bits of advice before he started his speech. One was to be short, and I'll do that tonight. And secondly, not to break a leg, I think. and Paul did that the other day, so I won't be doing that either. But look, it's a great opportunity to be here amongst such talented people, but so many passionate people about the arts and the creative industries. Some people sort of say that politics is a bit like acting, actually, but I like to sort of say, and there's probably some truth to it, politics is acting for ugly people. So I'm so pleased to actually be amongst so many beautiful people here tonight, and I'm sure you're going to be able to contribute that beauty through the good work that you do through the Anywhere Festival. Look, it's a great opportunity to be here tonight celebrating creative industries in Queensland and Brisbane. This is a fantastic festival. It really delivers not only for the performers, the people involved in the creative industries, but for our communities. And there is so much that we can say about who we are, what we believe in and what our dreams are by how we perform it and how we tell those stories. So it's a great pleasure to be here. Thank you to Doug and all the team for making the Anywhere Festival what it is. The Queensland Government has been for the last 6 years very happy to partner with you and support you through Arts Queensland. And I'm sure those discussions about future funding will continue in a positive light to come. Look, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honour to be here for the Anywhere Festival. I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening, and I look forward to catching up with some of you at some of the shows over the next little bit. Well done.
And finally this evening we've got two of our greatest performers here, or at least one of them that's coming up to the stage right now, that put on their very own show from January well up until May 5th, who have been working tirelessly behind the scenes beyond anything else. This is Paul and Ali. Please welcome them to the stage right now.
Thank you. Is it just going to be me? Firstly, look, yeah, I'd also like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet and pay respect to elders past and present. I think the advice about a nice, short speech is a fantastic piece of advice. And I sit there and think, okay, really, what can I say up here? Obviously, there's a lot of thanking to do. In fact, there's a lot of things that, when I think about it, we've actually got it in the program, and I could just say, look, just go and look at the program. It's all in there, and everybody can start drinking or continue drinking, including me. In fact, if anybody's near some alcohol, can you please pass it up to the front of the stage here? Anyway. There are still a number of people I'd like to thank. And firstly, everybody tonight for coming along to be here for the launch. This is the sixth festival. It's been 6 years of the festival here. It's a festival which in the first year, was something which Ali and I started at really the best time to start a new risky venture, where we had one child that was 3 and the other one that was 1, and thought, I think we just bought a house. So really, it was the ideal time to start a festival of theatre and not use any theatres whatsoever. Since then, and since doing this little program of just words and text that was, I think, about this big, A3. Oh, thank you very much to everybody involved, everybody. Excuse me. And it started from that small scale. There were 20 or so different shows, and what has been absolutely amazing has been to see the response of people grasping onto the idea, and that is everybody that's here tonight. It's the businesses that are hosting the performances. So they are providing their venues rent free to allow these performances to happen, so that there is a bigger chance that the money that is earned from box office can actually go to the artists, instead of just going to the theatre hire, to all the production people. I mean, not that I have anything against production people. I mean, some of my best friends are production people. But when it comes down to it, all those people aren't needed if there isn't somebody creating the work. So really, it should be about the people that are creating the work, and they should be the people that are paid first. It's still, there isn't a soapbox here, so I'm not going to get on it for too long. But it still really annoys me when I think of what we'll do as independent artists, And then I also have a look at majors, and I would think that major companies, as a result of being bigger, they would be spending a bigger percentage of their budgets on the actual artists, and that there'd be a bigger engagement in audiences and a bigger presence as spokespeople in our society. And so it really worries me when I see companies where they're employing 76 people a year in major companies, but only 10 of those are actually artists, and they are all on contracts for 6 weeks, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, as opposed to a 1 year to 3 year contract. And yet these are companies that are meant to be there to present work by whether that's theatre, music, dance, ballet, whatever. And it really seems to have got the model the wrong way around. And this is what Anywhere Festival is meant to be. A little, well, I'll use 2 fingers. I'll use the Winston Churchill to go, look, actually this whole idea of becoming a big major thing, using venues and working on and putting the focus on all the structure that is needed to make that happen is the wrong way. It's asked about. And so Anywhere is politely kind of turning around and facing its ass and showing this is a way that is a better way for it to be done. So thank you to everyone that's been a part of it. So really quickly, I'd like to thank Doug for just being on the board since the very start of the festival, and all the other board members. Thank you, Margaret, for coming along and talking tonight as well, and for Arts Queensland and Queensland Government for it's basically been because of them that the festival is able to be what it is at the moment. So huge thanks. But I'll really just end on the biggest thanks, and really that's to Ali up there. Yeah, I know, it's sick, we started the festival together 6 years ago. It seemed like a crazy but stupid idea then, and somehow we're still together and happy. And there's no way that I'd be able to stand here and talk about it and do this festival without Ali. It's the two of us to make it happen at the top.
I'm not unblocking the toilet.
So other than that, thank you very much. Drink, be merry, have chats, and have a fantastic 2016 Anywhere Festival.
All right, one more time for the man who makes it all happen. Thank you so much, Paul. Well, we are done. It is over. Make sure you pick up a program. Check out anywherefest.com. Did you have a good time tonight? Yeah? All right, it's going to be an exciting festival. I'm looking forward to it. Sean, any final words? Sean Murgard, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Pete Booth. Thank you very much and have a great rest of the night.